Protesters making their voices heard again tonight, calling for an end to police violence.
Demonstrators demanding change after George Floyd's deadly arrest in Minneapolis.
No justice, no peace.
Many in the crowd calling on law enforcement officers to help them see justice served.
And while some officers are standing with the crowd, tensions continue to flare with others.
The president promising if the violence doesn't stop,
and I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem.
While others are calling for action.
Congressman Jeffries has a bill to outlaw chokeholds. Congress should put it on the president's desk in the next few days.
Are you watching Channel 5?
This is a live look at several nationwide protests going on tonight. On the left is New York. It was there. That's where protesters seem to continue peaceful demonstrations at this point. On the right, as you see there, Los Angeles, hundreds of people there protesting there on the streets, on the ground there. This is the 8th night of protests over the death of George Floyd. Floyd was killed after being arrested last Monday by former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. Chauvin and 3 other officers were fired after that incident.
He was also arrested and charged with Floyd's murder and manslaughter. The Minneapolis Police Department is now charged with a civil rights violation. The state of Minnesota says it will look into the department's policies and practices over the past 10 years. It wants to know if there's been a systematic and systemic discrimination against people of color by the department. Critics say the department has a culture that resists change. Protesters were also out in Green Bay this afternoon for the 4th straight day. The second night of citywide curfew started just a few moments ago. Fox 11's Ben Krumholtz is live for us in downtown Green Bay tonight. And Ben, what are you seeing? Are people following tonight's curfew?
Yeah, they are, Michelle. It's all quiet on the curfew front. We drove through the downtown and no protesters have been out tonight. Obviously, the weather playing a role as it's starting to come down a little bit here. We're outside the police departments. They have the road barricaded and there's no protesters in sight. I just talked with Commander Warwick. He says that only minor disturbances are popping up on their radar inside the department. Do have a little bit of breaking news for you. I'm following the City Council meeting, which is meeting on Zoom right now. They just voted 8-4 to extend the curfew until next Monday morning. So each night for the next couple nights, it's going to be a curfew at 9 o'clock at night, ending at 6 in the morning. Now, the protesters that I spoke with over the last 2 days say they want to abide by the curfew. They want to be peaceful. They were, however, able to still get their message out today during the day.
Hot scorcher out here.
With the sun shining a hotter light on their efforts Tuesday, protesters decided to head two very different directions with their demonstrations.
Silence is violence! Silence is violence!
First, in front of the Green Bay police station was the type of peaceful protest we've seen countless times across the country the past few days.
Keep giving it to them, but don't give them a reason to injure the people in our community.
About a mile away, a group that wanted a break from the typical gathering tried something new to get their message out.
Hey, we got a fresh crowd over here. Fresh crowd. What's happening? I think we having fun. But I think it's a form of protest to let people know, that no matter how dark stuff might get, that we always together.
Mo White and his friends thought a water fight
that's what you all, bro.
could be fun and productive at the same time.
I just think it's way more better than just out here protesting, smashing windows and stuff like that, setting things on fire and stuff like that. Like this way, we sprayed the cops when they came down here, letting them know we just having fun and peaceful. This is what the community is about, basically.
The group at the police department preached peace as well.
We remain peaceful. We don't break anything down. We don't burn anything down. We're going to get our message across, and we're going to inspire change all across the world.
The police department protest ended up marching the mile to the water balloon fight, a welcome relief and reunion for two groups fighting the same fight.
We can't let immature behavior detract from a real, nonviolent, non-aggressive, protest. So that happened, and now we just trying to erase it all with some water.
That water fight was fun. Police were keeping an eye on both groups today, no issues. The department has maintained they're 100% in support of peaceful protests, but they will 100% pursue prosecution against any protesters that turn to criminal activity. Again, the curfew lasts until 6 a.m. The City Council just seconds ago voting 8-4 to extend that curfew until June 8th, Monday morning. Now, there is no curfew